hello everyone. I'd like to welcome you all and thank everyone for coming to KGAP Day, Battery Demo Day, hosted by ATL. I'm Makiko Tatsumi from Business Development Office of ATL. KGAP Plus is a startup acceleration program organized by ATL. Following the success of Batch 1 and Batch 2, Batch 3 started in July. 16 startups from Japan and abroad were selected. Worked hard on developing their business and finding partners. But due to COVID-19 situation, it was challenging for startups, mentors, and we ATL. Yeah, everything run online. But today, we are very pleased to share our great achievement with you. Yes, let's begin by presentation about KGAP Plus. Yeah, the presenter is Dr. Suzuki, Executive Vice President and Head of Business Development Office.
Full screen. Okay, good afternoon, KGAP Plus startups and audience. I'm Suzuki of ATL. I'd like to explain briefly about KGAP Plus Batch 3. KGAP Plus is one of the global open innovation platform for supporting startups to expand their business abroad, mainly for Barcelona and New York. KGAP Plus is an acceleration program composed of mentoring and seminars and matching and POC. And last year we did online and offline combination and online and offline, but this year totally carried out online. To realize this acceleration program, we first constructed a global collaboration and cooperation network, in which we are now working with more than 460 organizations, including 189 organizations in 17 countries. With our core partners, we set Barcelona Activa in Barcelona, Israel Innovation Authority in Israel, Entrepreneurs Roundtable Accelerator in New York City, and National Research Council in Canada, and the Confederation of India Industry in India. They are our core partners and send startups to us. What we try to achieve is firstly to create two-dimensionally collaboration network with core partners. By this partnership, for instance, Israel startup can find investors in New York, for instance, and also partners in Canada or Barcelona. And secondly, we try to connect these two-dimensional network with Japanese market and Japanese tech society. KGAP Batch 3 was realized by the collaboration with various organizations listed here. For instance, our global partners, Barcelona Activa, Israel Innovation Authority, Entrepreneurs Roundtable Accelerator, National Research Council of Canada, Confederation of India Industry, and Hong Kong Science Technology Parks, and JETRO and Mojo and Seekers Base Japan co-hosted this event. And the event was also cooperated by Embassy of Spain and Israel Canada, and India, and the local governmental organizations and financial sectors. To select startups for KGAP Batch 3, we carried out 8 online events with global collaboration partners and had totally participants of as large as about 900, setting theme as a post-COVID-19 business and how to support global startups. Luckily, we had 23 presentations and 15 reverse pitch by Japanese companies and totally 47 startups pitching. And we started the event June 11th and finished the event the end of July. So we selected totally 16 startups from 5 global partners, countries, and also Japan. 6 from Japan and 10 coming from 5 countries, as listed here. If you classified these 16 startups in terms of field of technology, this is really widespread from AI, IoT smart devices, robotics, XR, healthcare, security, manufacturing, and mobility. We are very glad to accept such a variety of startups globally. We started Batch 3 in July and had 3 months period of time to do seminars and the mentoring and the matching. And we are now having a demo day with totally 16 startups and at the occasion of Kyoto Smart City Expo. And we plan to select 5 startups and had a joint event, a special program with Barcelona Activa. But I must say this year, we cannot do such a special program with Barcelona Activa because you may know the Spanish government declares a state of emergency again this week. So Barcelona Activa declined the collaboration to do a special program because they do not have a chance to find companies and organizations in Barcelona which can meet the requirements of startups. I'm very sorry for that, but understand that situation is really special. We had very good mentors here, and they worked very hard, really. We have one mentor from venture capitalist, one of my colleagues, and also professional mentors, and one coming from JETRO, and one coming from local governments, Kyoto, and some from financial districts, and one from industry, and the 2 from Osaka Accelerator. They really worked very hard. I really appreciate their hard work and contributions to this program. Because of their hard work, the outcomes of KGAP 3 plus Batch 3 is really amazing, I would say. We had accomplished 21 matching for 13 startups. And if you include a matching in progress, the number increases up to 64 for all the 16 startups. Really, these are the really good numbers, and we are very proud of that. So on the demo day, we have just finished the session 1 in the morning, and in the session 3, we have totally 5 pitching from India, Israel, and Barcelona. And in the final section, we have a presentation about Barcelona ecosystem by Mr. Lorenzo De Pietro, our counterpart, my counterpart of Barcelona Activa. So even the COVID-19 cannot break our partnership with Barcelona Activa because, as I mentioned, we have a presenter from Barcelona Activa. Also, 2 mentors are coming from Barcelona Activa for selecting 5 good startups. Okay, thank you very much for listening to my talk, and I hope the startups had a good luck. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Suzuki-san. Okay. Now let's get started with our startup pitch. Good morning, India, Israel, Barcelona. Are you ready? The first one is big things from India. So, Sivan, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you, Maki.
Okay. Please prepare your pitch deck. Yeah, big things is fashion tech, but they are challenging business development through this program. Yeah. Are you ready?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Okay, go ahead.
Great, thanks. Big Things is an artificial intelligence company focused on the fashion and retail industry and now expanding into fitness and gaming as well. In the fashion industry, the big problem that we're solving for is that when people are shopping online, they don't know what size to pick because there's little to no standardization in the fashion industry. As a result, consumers end up buying multiple sizes and then returning a lot of them. And this is the actual data. 41% of people know before buying that they're going to return something. And 89% of people have returned something in the past year. Returned merchandise costs retailers $1 trillion around the world in lost sales. And 84% of these returns end up destroyed. So it's a huge cost for the environment as well. Big Things' products start with 3D body scanning, which uses just 2 pictures from a smartphone to instantly derive 44 precise body measurements. You can use these for custom-made clothing, but also more importantly, to find out your size in any product, in any brand, anywhere in the world. So you know exactly what size to pick, and we also provide fit information so you know what's going to fit you well. You can choose products according to the best size and fit for your body. On the premium version, our software uses a selfie of your face in addition to the body scan to create a virtual avatar that looks and measures exactly like you. Our AI also replicates clothing directly from pictures into 3D, so you can see and try these clothes on your own avatar. You can change the size, you see how they drape, move, and fit. And therefore, when you buy the clothes, you know exactly what you're buying before you buy it, and you don't need to return them. We were recently featured by Samsung Next as one of the world's top companies in the avatar synthesis space. And we've used these avatars even for digital runway shows, where we did 2 shows at the New York Fashion Week, one in June and one in September 2020, where we used our technology with avatars and digital clothing to actually open the New York Fashion Week with the first fashion show in September 2020. We also offer virtual showrooms, which is a way to demonstrate our technology and put it into place on websites. So it makes it a much more immersive and interactive experience that drives 250% greater conversions. In the fitness space, our body scanning software can determine not only measurements and allow you to track them over time, but also various different health factors, such as the risk of diabetes, risk of heart disease, and so on. So this is useful for the healthcare and insurance industries as well. From the fashion industry, the value proposition is that we target a 90% reduction in returns. We've achieved at least a 20% increase in order values and 250% greater conversions when using our products. The business model caters to fashion brands and retailers, fitness companies, and gaming companies. In all cases, it's an API which gets integrated into existing apps or websites in less than 1 day. And it's a standard monthly recurring billing plan, so it's easy for any retailer or company to integrate. From the founder's perspective, I and Chandaleka are the two founders. I've been a serial entrepreneur with successful exits and companies in India and the USA Previously, Chandrulekha went down the corporate route before starting up Big Things. We have a team of 10 engineers with us and are advised by some of the world's brightest minds in artificial intelligence, media, and fashion. We've also won the world's biggest awards for artificial intelligence and been featured in some of the world's biggest publications. In Japan, we've signed an exclusive channel partner agreement with Seeker's Base, based out of Tokyo, and are working on a pilot with Skeleton Crew Studio to use our avatars in the gaming space. Our ongoing conversations include fashion, activewear brands, technology companies, and consulting firms in Japan. The opportunities that we're seeking are strategic partnerships, R&D, customer introductions, and of course, investments in the spaces of retail, fitness, and gaming. And we look forward to any connections and opportunities in these four spaces. You can always reach out to us at info@bigthings.com, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that may come up. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ivan. Great pitch. Okay, you have a question from audience. Let me share with you. Strategy for business roadmap toward fitness and healthcare associated with entrance into the Japan market.
Yes, our strategy in fitness and healthcare is to start off with the fitness market, where we are approaching large gyms. So first we go to the gyms that are spread out across multiple cities and have multiple outlets and deploy it to a wide range of consumers. After a certain amount of time that we gather enough data, we then start approaching healthcare organizations which can use this data, and it gives them a proof of concept to deploy into their general testing and outpatient department services. And in turn, this then gets taken out to the insurance industries, where we are currently speaking to the 4 largest reinsurers in the world that also work with many Japanese insurance companies. So if we are successful at getting it deployed by one of these reinsurers, then definitely we can serve insurance companies also in Japan.
Thank you. You have another question. Okay. Is the target limited to human? Maybe it can be used to record the growth of children. Can your technology be used to measure the size of a non-human, like animal?
Not at this point, unfortunately. Our data has all been trained to measure humans, but assuming that we have enough data to train a model to detect animals, we could use the same techniques to do so.
Yeah. I believe your technology can be applied to many things. Yeah. Thank you. Great performance. Okay. All right. Next is SLR machines from India. Kaushik, are you ready? Okay. Yeah. They they develop great machines. Okay, please share with us about your technology. Go ahead.
Hello, Maki-san. Thank you for the introduction. Hello, everybody. My name is Kaushik Mudda. I'm the co-founder of Ethereal Machines. What do? We are a deep tech startup that is engaged in building 5-axis CNC machines. What do I mean when I say 5-axis? I will come to that when I talk about when I have a depiction in the next slide. But CNC machines are generally a manufacturing technology where you can put in a block of wood, metal, engineering, plastics, etc., and you can cut, mill, extract material out till you get complex engineering products. So a designer or on anything on your manufacturing sector can be created with these machines. We've been in this space for the last 5 years and are backed by some of India's biggest institutional investors. Let's look at what a 5-axis, right? X, Y, and Z, where you're moving left and right, front and back, and up and down, where the machine moves in 3 ways. And the 4th axis, where the machine tilts and where the machine rotates, that's your 5th axis. So given 5 degrees of freedom, the kind of engineering components that can be created with these machines are extremely flexible, and you can create extremely precise components as well. There are 5-axis machines right presently in the market, but they are beset with a lot of problems. The machines that presently exist are extremely large. They require a huge amount of floor space. They are not really user friendly. They are being built for large enterprises in mind who can afford to employ high-end engineers to operate these machines. They're very expensive as well, because they are built again for a very niche segment of customers, and that is what we are here to change. Let's look at some examples in the solution, right? The Ethereal Halo, which is what I was talking about, is a compact 5-axis CNC machine meant for machining non-ferrous materials and materials that are softer than non-ferrous metals. So aluminum, brass, copper, wood, wax, and engineering plastics, etc. Let's look at some examples of the machine in action. In this, we are creating a knee implant out of polyurethane for a client, wherein you can see all the 5 axes are moving simultaneously at the same time they are moving, and to create that particular component. Let's look at another example. Herein, we are creating an spectacles end connector, the part that connects your glass to your rod, which goes and sits above your ear. This is being milled out of brass. It's an extremely small component and it requires huge amounts of precision. The last example that I want to show you today is a simple face model that is being etched out. So anything that needs to be sculpted out can also be done with this machine. Albeit this requires not a lot of precision, but it requires a good amount of flexibility to create a very precise model of what you want. The materials that go along well with our machine, like I said, are aluminum, copper, brass, and with plastics all the way from PET, ABS, nylon. These are different engineering plastics which are used in the industry, to the more exotic plastic materials as well, such as PEEK, Delrin, and polyvinyl chloride as well. The kind of customers that we've been catering to are in the medical sector, wherein you're machining either knee implants, whether you're machining zirconium. Usually zirconium is machined for dental implants, or PMMA, or polymethyl methylene acrylate, which is used in the case of cranial implants if somebody meets with an accident and a part of their cranium is damaged. We have clients in the plastic engineering segment as well, like I was talking about. Micro machining, where extremely small, tiny, precise components are to be made, and general engineering. With the KGAP Plus program, thanks to the reputation that KGAP has, we had an added trust factor being attached to our name while talking to different Japanese clients. They helped us penetrate into the market, and we've achieved, we're working on the POC with a particular client. Special thanks here to Nakajima-san for facilitating that, and also the Kyoto local government who helped us gain the POC. So let's look at the POC, right? We're working with a company called Goodwood Kyoto Inc., based out of Nishigawara in Kyoto. The client had similar problems as to what we were mentioning, which is the machines that they presently have access to are extremely costly. They occupy a large amount of floor space, and they're not necessarily built for plastic engineering products. And that is a component and the partnership that we are exploring with Goodwood Kyoto. To summarize, how is our solution better than the other existing players? Like I said, it's extremely user-friendly because we have built our own proprietary controller to help with the user interface and make it more accessible to engineers across different levels of expertise. Compact size and affordable as well, like I've previously said. The other important aspect is it's extremely easy to install and set up, more of a plug and play kind of system. So you do not again have to expend more manpower and technological expertise to be comfortable with the machine. We've been working with clients across sectors, automotive, aerospace, and these are the collaborations that we've already been working with in India and in UK. Presently now, thanks to KGAP in Japan as well. The specific ask that we have from this audience is that if you know anybody in the plastic machining sector or in the plastic manufacturing sector that creates complex components or creates turnkey solutions for engineering customers, kindly connect us to them. We would also love to talk to prospective channel partners and distributors in Japan so that we can collaborate and establish a strong foothold in Japan. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Kaushik. All right. Yeah, it was good for us. Also, you collaborate to the Kyoto local company by way of Kyoto local government. Yeah, great collaboration. Okay, you have a question from audience. One question is durability is an important feature, but it's not compact equipment inferior to in durability. Sorry, my pronunciation. Did you catch the meaning?
Yes, yes.
Okay. And how do you develop the Japanese market? How do you provide equipment maintenance services?
I completely understand this point, and in fact, we've spent the last 2 years working on just on making the structure of the machine better, so that the durability aspect can be considered well. So we use, in fact, the most advanced techniques. That is, we not only is it just a casted body, we use polymer resin to ensure that the strength of the machine entirely increases. It's a 2.5-ton machine. Even though it's compact, it weighs a lot, and that is entirely to do with the durability factor. So that's nothing to be worried about when it comes to durability. To develop the Japanese market, I definitely understand that the equipping the maintenance services is a question which a lot of Japanese clients will have, and that's exactly why we are working with local partners on ground, who not only will be able to help with basic troubleshooting, but also say maybe change a part or handhold somebody via commissioning, etc. So going through local channel partners is one of our most important steps in trying to enter the Japanese market.
Okay, thank you. You have another one. What is the target segment to be prioritized for the Japanese customers? Who will most benefit from Haro? For instance, machine parts, so medical component, toys?
Medical components is one of our key interest areas, because a lot of medical components get made via engineering plastics and via aluminium. With machine parts, the segment will be for those parts that are being made out of non-ferrous metals. But the problem is, a lot of machine parts are usually made in steel, etc. So that will not be our focus area. But the vendors to OEMs who supply non-ferrous parts to them, they will definitely be a customer segment. The way we view the market is slightly different from traditional machine manufacturers, which is they make a single unit for both ferrous materials and non-ferrous materials, thus leaving these kind of machines and technology out of reach of a maximum amount of players. The way we view it is that we categorize them separately, as one is for non-ferrous and one is for ferrous, and very particularly sticking to the non-ferrous kind of clientele.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good luck for your business. Okay, next, we move to Israel. Okay, Sierra Vision. Yael.
Hello, hi everyone.
Okay.
Can you see my my screen? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Great. So we'll start. Hi everybody. We are Sierra, and we develop intelligent vision underwater. Just think about all the capabilities that computer vision opened for us on land and in the air as well. But all of these are not available underwater because of bad visibility, exactly as you can see here on the left of the screen. So this is the challenge and pain points Sierra is solving. On the right, you see the output of our core technology. These are algorithms that increase the underwater visibility in real time, allowing us to see better and further away close and far away objects, like you can see on the screen. You see that the main difficulty is that underwater image deterioration increases with the object distance, and optical water properties change with time and location. This is why common image processing algorithms or filters you have on your phone do not perform well on these images. We estimate all these properties from the images without any prior knowledge or external hardware and reconstruct the scenes based on physics-based models. We do that in real time and can work at any depth, extending the visibility range by at least double and sometimes by 4. So in short, our technology enables the possibility to see better underwater by human eyes, like somebody who doesn't see very well and puts on glasses and suddenly everything is clear. And so we do this for any camera used without receiving any prior knowledge and in any sea condition or depth. Like you can see on the screen, it's very powerful compared to other technologies like sonars, for example, and extremely beneficial for existing technology and service providers. Since we improve current operations, like you see the number 3, you can see on the right, but you can't see on the left. And we also enable all kinds of automatic decisions and analysis for any camera that goes underwater. And this is relevant for the ocean and also for any type of inland pool or water resource. So just about Japan, Japan is a high growth and high valuation market for machinery, for robotics, for underwater applications, and specifically for cameras. I mean, it's one of our main focus markets since the potential of the market is huge. And of course, Japan is a leading nation in cameras and in imaging products. So very natural for us to want to be part of this market. You see, the underwater equipment is very expensive to purchase and to maintain. And our product actually increases the efficiency. And it also opens up many new opportunities to underwater AI and brings value to any camera used underwater. So thanks to ATR and to KGAP Plus program, we have received great interest from large multinational companies in areas of machinery, electrical devices, measurement equipment, technology integration, and all of these companies want to integrate our solution into their relevant business units. So just as an example, we're talking about energy systems, ocean defense, security, measurement equipment, maritime defense, aquaculture, and marine equipment. So the idea is that actually almost anything that operates and goes underwater and needs the visual impact could receive it much better with our technology. So just as some examples you can see here, these are the current applications of interest we are working on, very much including inspection, monitoring, measurement of robotization, any type of underwater vehicle that uses cameras, cleaning robots, and the inspection of offshore energy. We are looking for we are in contact in regards to distribution, direct sales, and integration of our technology into other systems. We are providing at the moment POC of our capabilities, and we would like to further extend our reach in this market to the different industries you see here. All of them are relevant for our technology, and there are many more. The partners we are looking for can be, like we said before, for direct sales, for distribution, for SDK integration, and we really look forward to additional companies and partners in all of these sectors. So what do we have? We have a real-time software that works standalone on any type of input that comes from hardware. We have specific applications. We have our prototype camera with onboard processing. We're really trying to focus on underwater robotics and aquaculture that have great value in this technology. And we're doing this also in direct sales, in distribution, and in OEM. Just to finalize, this technology has been worked on for years, and it has been in the company it has arrived from the Marine Imaging Lab at the Haifa University. After many studies, we have more than 6 registered patents, and we have a very, very strong team that knows underwater very well and is also specializing, of course, in computer vision. So we just want to really hope that now we will see much better, and that Japan will be the one that will see much better as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Yael. Yeah, your technology is a very good fit to Japan market. Yeah, great. Yeah, okay. You have 2 questions. The first one is, I think the various applications can be considered to make the underwater visible well. And what kind of a field do you think is the largest market for you?
What type of? Can you just repeat
Kind
the
of,
last?
yeah. Did you catch the question?
Yeah, what type of? I just need the final sentence
What
again.
kind of field do you think is the largest market for you?
Fields. So, like I said, I think that Japan is very strong when it comes to machinery and robotics. So I think that underwater robotics and vehicles is a very strong field. And I also believe very much in aquaculture. I think that fish farms are using more and more cameras. And since Japan is geographically has sea all around, and its fish industry and the aquaculture industry is huge, I think there is a lot of benefit there for the future of this specific market in Japan.
Okay, another question. Ballpark figure by millions or billions of the market size estimation in Japan, which is surrounded by seas and is expected to have huge opportunities for solutions with enhanced underwater visibility.
The size of the market that we estimate?
Mm-hmm.
That is the question?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So if
and it's a difficult question, but I intentionally ask. Must be more sensitive to the market.
You can answer later. Yeah, you can answer. Yeah.
Okay, no, I heard some noise. I didn't understand.
Yeah.
So when it comes to precision aquaculture, sorry?
Go ahead.
Okay, when it comes to precision aquaculture and when it comes to cameras in underwater robotics, we're talking about around 400 million, I would say, dollars, not in the Japanese currency, for this market that are relevant for all of these imaging solutions. And this is, I didn't mention it, but also the consumer market is a very huge market for our technology because we have the flexibility to integrate our algorithms into cameras that are housed in systems that go underwater. So all of the consumer market, even the smartphone market that uses cameras, are all relevant for using our potential technology. And we see a cooperation also with hardwares and with cameras, also for robotics and for other industries that could be very beneficial for many industries.
Thank you very much for answering that. All right. Yeah. We have another company from Israel. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and we had it's your turn. AutoSense.
Yes.
Yes.
Do the share screen.
Yes, please.
Can you see it?
Yeah, it's coming. Perfect.
Great. Hi, everybody. I'm Ifat from AutoSense. I'm the CEO of AutoSense. Why it's not working? Okay, now it's working. Okay, so what AutoSense, we developed a small device that fits into any standard toilet bowl and can analyze all human exertion, everything that goes down the toilet. Our vision is to improve health and prevent development of fatal diseases by automatic and continuous sensing of human exertion. By creating the world's biggest database, we will be able to give personalized care, again, all based on human waste, which is something very valuable. What our current products are? Currently, we can screen for colorectal cancer, which is a very, very common cancer, yet it can be prevented easily, yet it is not prevented because the current methods are have very low compliance. We can detect dehydration in people. We can detect urinary tract infection via the urine, diarrhea, and constipation. All this is done in an automatic manner, discrete. We don't use any data of the person. We just analyze the waste, continuous, real time, and we proved in many clinical trials that it is very accurate. What markets are we aiming at first? The biggest market that we aim first is the elderly care market, which is also very relevant for Japan because of the aging population, both in care centers and at home. We know, and we checked specifically in Japan in many elderly care assisted living chains, that dehydration is a very serious condition that causes a lot of hospitalization and dehydration within residents. It is very easy to detect, however, there's no automatic manner to detect it, and currently what they do, they just simply take the person into the toilet and look at the color of the urine. By detecting dehydration early, we can actually prevent deterioration and prevent hospitalization. Same thing for urinary tract infection, which appears more in women. Older people do not feel pain sensation, and sometimes the urinary tract infection that can be easily resolved in antibiotics is worsened dramatically and damage other body parts like the kidneys. And we can detect if the person has diarrhea and constipation. Elderly people do not report about this, and this sometimes causes spread of viruses and a lot of diseases. The other market that we're aiming is the colorectal cancer screening market, which is, as I said before, the most preventable cancer, yet it is not prevented due to current manual and ineffective methods. What we do, we actually detect blood in the stool. What is the solution? We have a toilet and we have a small device that is connected in the toilet bowl. It's a multispectral optical camera. Just to make sure that it's understood, we don't make any pictures of the person. Everything, all the multispectral optical sensor is aimed into the toilet. What we do, we detect as optical signature of the substance. In this case, it's example of detection of optical signature of the blood. We can also detect what kind of blood is it. Is it coming from the testicle? Is it coming from a period or for hemorrhoids? And by that, we can say if there is a risk for cancer. Everything is analyzed on the cloud. We have a lab on the cloud where we also collect all the database. Then we give the alerts and the information to the physician, the caregiver, or the user if it's at home, and we are able to give personalized care. The competition in the colorectal cancer market is mainly lab methods that you simply take a sample of the stool and you have to take it into the lab, and therefore the compliance is very, very low. Also, the sensitivity and the specificity of these methods are lower than ours. Our sensitivity is very high, was proven of over 90%. No problems of compliance because it's completely automatic and real time. Regarding the elderly care market, we don't have direct competition that actually analyze the dehydration in urinary tract infection, but we do know, especially in Japan, that elderly care facilities are embracing technologies and remote monitoring of the residents, especially now with the COVID-19 pandemic, where they want to remote monitor the person and to have less contact. For the future, As I said before, we are collecting a lot of database in order to be able to introduce into the market additional applications. We believe that everything we flush down the toilet is a very valuable information. We're looking to optimize food supplement intake, to fine-tune drug dosage and adherence to drug, to give personalized nutrition for weight control, to enable personalized care for biofeedback, and to identify epidemics outbursts. Specifically for Japan market and this program, which we are very happy to participate in, we had a mentoring session. We did a detailed planning of a POC. We were in contact with a few stakeholders. We are in discussion with some partners to close POC. What we're looking for specifically in Japan is either companies that give services to the elderly care market, both at home and in facilities, software integrators, elderly care chains, all this in order to implement the devices, as well as companies that are interested in digital health technology and early detection of colorectal cancer. Japan is known as a country that is very focused or invests in specifically toilets. All the toilets are very advanced, and integrating additional smart toilet that take care of health into this kind of toilets is a very good combination. Other market development that we did, we have a patent in Japan, which was granted last month. We have an Israeli pilot starting in medical center for cord blood. We already did initial clinical studies that proved 90% accuracy, and now we are going one step further into real environment home use trial. We secured a pilot with leading technology provider for elderly care, and we are looking for more. We secured the first round of investment at the beginning of the year, but next year, this was in order to finish the production and the development of the product. And next year, we are going to go for another round, and we will be happy also to discuss with potential investors. I tried to keep within the 5 minutes because yesterday it was longer.
No problem, no problem. Thank you very much. We had great presentation, always. Okay, you have a question from audience. So when will the product be available in Japan according to R&D fundraising and the PMDA certification?
Okay, so there are a few things. We are starting a pilot in Japan in elderly care facilities at the end of this year. Basically, we have to split it into two. For the elderly care market, we don't need a JFDA or PMDA certification, only a clearance certification, because it's not considered as a medical or diagnostic device. It's only an aid tool in order to help them recognize dehydration and urinary tract infections earlier. I have a lot of experience in Japan from our previous company, and in this market, we didn't need to go through PMDA process. For the colorectal cancer market, we will need FDA, PMDA medical, and we will start the process in parallel, which means we will introduce the product for elderly care facilities, and in parallel, we will start the PMDA process.
Thank you. Thank you for your answer. Another one. It is a very interesting technology. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Do customers such as nursing care facilities or hospitals have pain in the analysis of excretion?
Do I have what?
Yeah. do customers such as nursing care facilities or hospitals have pain in the analysis of exertion?
If they have analysis of it at the moment?
Exertion.
Okay, so a care facility, what happens that with assisted living care facilities, it's different from hospitals because they don't have any means to detect things like in hospitals. They are not able to do blood tests, they don't have labs, they're not able to identify blood in the stool, dehydration or urinary tract infection. So what happens in these cases, because it's elderly people and sometimes with elderly people you see these clinical conditions very late, these people are hospitalized and it's detected only in hospitals. This is why we think, or we know, because we did a research in Japan, that without technology, we can enter elderly care facilities and provide this kind of solution. As for hospitals, in hospitals, they are able to detect dehydration, they're able to give fluids and everything. But what they do screening for colorectal cancer by existence of blood in the stool, and then they decide if to give colonoscopy or not. So with these applications, we are referring to hospital.
Okay. Can you share the market research result with us?
Yes, we did, first of all, we did in Japan and also in other places. Specifically in Japan, what we did, it was a very pragmatic research. What we did is through a company, a partner, we interviewed a lot of care facilities, elderly care facilities. And we found out that there are three main pain points within the elderly care facilities. One of them is falls from the bed, which there are other technologies that are solving that. The other one is dementia, which is there's no technology to solve dementia. And the next one, it's not by order, it can be, is dehydration. This is what, because 50% of dehydration cases of elderly people happen in long-term facilities, and a huge percentage are hospitalized because it's too late and it's very easy to prevent dehydration. It's only to give the person or to encourage him to drink more. So we found out, as I said in the research, that this application is very applicable. As for market research that we did in the US, a research company made actually a questionnaire to 500 people. This was about colorectal cancer, presenting them asking them if they are actually doing any screening for colorectal cancer, because the recommendation is to do screening for colorectal cancer for every person over the age of 45. So many persons do not. And the reason that they do not is because they need to deal with the exertion, which is not very comfortable. And then after realizing that a very low percentage is doing that, they showed our video and showed our methods and found out that the compliance raised dramatically.
Okay, the last question. Can the user share toilet to use your device?
Share toilet? Yes. Okay. If it's at home, it's actually connected to a mobile app. So everybody is in the toilet is connected to his personal mobile. If it's in elderly care facilities, for example, we do in Japan, for example, the partners, there are a lot of means. One of them is RFID recognition or a bracelet. Specifically in Japan, they ask for face recognition once the resident is going into the toilet. And by that, the system will know who is the person that is in the toilet.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay. We finishing Israel 2 companies, and the last one is from Barcelona. Okay. Yeah. Please. No. We had to please finish the screen sharing. We had.
Yes. Just a second.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Adria, are you ready?
Hello?
Okay.
Yes.
Last
Can you
one.
hear me well?
Yes. Perfect.
Perfect. So I'm
Yeah.
going to share my screen.
Shuttle provide on-demand mobility service. Okay. Yes. So please go ahead.
Perfect. Thank you. Good afternoon. I'm Adria Ramirez. I'm product manager of Shuttle. I have here today with me also Shilef Grater, business developer. And we are pleased and we thank KGAP Plus program to invite us here today. It's really a pleasure to be here. The problem that we tackle is inefficient transport in areas which have lower density. Areas in which it's quite complicated to design bus lines which are really efficient and can bring a good service and capture demand. For that reason, in those areas, people become car dependent and they are far from the mass transit hubs. Because people use cars, there's a lot of congestion, there is lack of parking space, and major problems related to social isolation, also related to too much car usage. What we do is that we provide technology to allow bus operators, taxi operators to provide on-demand transportation. They put the vehicle, they put the drivers, but we provide them the technological platform and the help to deliver such a service. If some bus company wants to provide a bus service without a technology like ours, they have to end up doing kind of lines like the one that you see on the left. Okay. In major corridors, this is not a problem, but in areas as the one I'm describing to you, this is a real case from Barcelona metropolitan area. If you have low demand and complex streets, you have to end up providing lines which are not clear and are not fast and are not frequent. So you do not provide a very good service. With Shuttle, you can convert that to a cloud of stops in which anybody can request a service from any stop to any other stop. And there is an algorithm behind that is creating the route of the bus in real time. So the bus only goes to those stops where there is somebody waiting to be picked up. In that case, for example, from a service that previous to us, a bus passed every 75 to 110 minutes, and now we can provide a service that has an average waiting time of 18 minutes. And before there were 50 stops, and now there are 80 stops. That has brought the demand, has doubled it, has multiplied it by 2, with the same vehicle. The platform has a passenger app where the passengers can book their rides, a driver app that guides the driver, can be installed in any tablet or a smartphone, and a management module where somebody can overview and manage the operation and also get calls from passengers that do not have a smartphone and make bookings on behalf of those passengers. We think that clearly HANA Science City is a really good example of where an on-demand bus service would work. Why? Because there is a business park area in the middle. There are several residential areas around and 2 train stations. There is need to travel from the train stations to the business park and from the residential areas to the business park and to the train stations. But if you want to draw here a bus line, it's very difficult to find the main corridor. Either you have to define a line that just goes through the main streets, and then you left many people too far away from the stop, or you have to draw a bus line that goes to every street, and then it is a really slow bus line. Thanks to Shuttle, you can get off of this trade-off, and you can really get some service which is covers all the area and is fast, reliable, and frequent. We think we have studied the area, and we think that we could start a pilot here with between 3 to 5 vehicles, and that would permit to achieve a waiting time of 10 to 15 minutes and the tourists below 50% of a direct trip. These are numbers that we know that when we achieve such a level of service, we can really capture a lot of demand. If the demand starts growing, we could even put more vehicles on it. With that, would be able to offer lower waiting and ride times, so a much more convenient service than if we really provide a scheduled bus service, a classic bus service. That means that more people will be switching to buses, and there will be less traffic because fewer people would use private cars and fewer parking problems. Also, this effect will be especially important among vulnerable passengers, so the elderly, the young, and the families. Those are the ones usually lacking access to a private car, and the ones that can be isolated and can have some social problems or accessibility problems to travel. We are already in Japan. We have an operation in Kawasaki, in Tokyo, in the Odakyu-Odawara line with Odakyu, in which we connect all the 6 square kilometers area with 4 vans to the Shin-Yuri-Gaoka station. The pilot started early this year and is brought more than 200 passengers a day. It's stopped now by the COVID crisis, but we will continue back when we come back from the crisis. There are many opportunities in Japan to support such services, and we think that we could be one of those. And we are one of the major companies worldwide. We are in we have 20 operations in 9 countries. Those are the cities as they are today, and those are the cities like we imagine in the future, more accessible for everybody, greener, and for be enjoyed by everybody. We hope you find it interesting. We're looking in Japan for new pilots, new operations, people that can introduce us to business contacts. And we can also do studies if somebody wants to first know if an area would be suitable. We're also open to study it. Thanks, and hope you find it interesting.
Thank you very much, Adria. Okay. Yes. You have a question from audience. Okay. Any preference for locations in Japan by region, prefecture, city, or geographical type, in addition to Shin, Yurigaoka, and Keihana?
We don't have any specific preference in terms of prefecture. We are open. We are worldwide, which we work worldwide. And what we can help is in every prefecture, in every city, we would be happy to help on identifying which is the right area to deploy the service.
Okay, and do you have any messages to the audience from local governments in the small city initiatives?
Basically that we think this service could help a lot using making a better use of their bus services, of their bus assets. And then now with the COVID crisis, which in some public transport is suffering from lower demand than before, we think that's very important to make sure that we can make a good use of our assets and do not incur into much deficit, so provide a good service, being cost effective.
Yeah, it is a good opportunity. For you to find a good partners, to audience, not only shuttle. If you have any interest to any of the startups, so please feel free to contact ATL. Yeah, we're happy to connect you to the startups. Adria, you have another question. Please let us know the future the shuttle is superior to the competitors who are promoting the on-demand bus. Yeah.
Okay, as I showed to you, we are one of the major worldwide competitors. What makes us different is that, first thing, we are not linked to any major OEM, so we can be very customizable to the needs of our customers. And secondly, me, myself, and several colleagues on the company, we are a team of transfer planners. We understand our clients. We are not only a technology provider, as many of our competitors are. So we can really understand what our clients need. And in fact, we are at the same level of income as other companies, having 1/2 or 1/3 of the people working on the company. And that means that we really understand which is the product that is needed, and that's why our customers trust us.
If I may add, we also have very fast implementation times. We're talking about implementation of an operation in only 3 weeks time. And I would say that technically, our algorithm is very strong. And just to add one more thing is that we provide weekly reports. So on a weekly basis, we send you reports of all the statistics, all the services, all the data we collect for you to analyze those statistics and KPIs. So that's it.
Okay, thank you. Good motivation. All right. The pitch is from all the startups is over. Thank you, good guys. Yeah, thank you, guys. Okay, and the next, yeah, we have a talk. Please welcome Mr. Lorenzo Di Pietro, Executive Director of Barcelona Activa, our great partner. Yeah, he kindly delivers a talk about Barcelona ecosystem, yeah, to expand the business to Barcelona. Lorenzo-san.
Kiko-san, thank you very much. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good morning. Yeah.
Thank you. So, thank you very much. First of all, I would like to say thank you to Suzuki-san, to ATR, and to Keihana Science City for inviting me 1 year more to this demo day of KGAP Plus Acceleration Program. Thank you very much and congratulations for organizing this event. It is really a pleasure for me to observe how far has arrived KGAP Plus Acceleration Program during these 3 days, and to observe the dynamism of this global community of startups and entrepreneurs that you have built. Today, 16 startups coming from Japan, Canada, Hong Kong, India, Israel, and Barcelona are presenting their products and services in front of a very selected jury. And that's really an impressive achievement. From Barcelona, really, we are very proud to be part of this project since the beginning, 3 years ago. And during the following days, as you know, we will also take place in the jury, giving our feedback to the entrepreneurs. This year, due to the COVID crisis, many institutions around the world have decided to cancel congresses and events. But other institutions like ATR and Keihana Science City, they decided to not cancel their commitments, and they decided to continue with their mission to promote entrepreneurship and innovation. And that's really a good news. This is not an easy decision, we know, it's a brave decision. But I believe that in the current context, we need brave people and brave institutions able to take decision and able to solve the challenges that we have to face. So thank you very much for doing this. As you know, currently in Barcelona, as in many other cities around the world, the economic and social context is not really good. I can say it's really difficult. Many companies, small and big companies, are reducing their business and the unemployment is growing very fast. Maybe the only economic sector that is performing quite well is the digital sector in the city of Barcelona. As you know, Barcelona has a very strong digital ecosystem made by big companies and more of 1,000 of very dynamic startups. And during the first months of the crisis, they have been able to create new jobs, and that's really impressive. From the City Council of Barcelona and of course from Barcelona Activa, we have designed an ambitious strategy for the economic reactivation of the city. It is called the Barcelona Green Deal, and we put in this strategy an extra budget of 30 million euros for the second half of 2020 year. Our strategy is composed by about 55 measures for the short, medium, and long term, focused on our strategic sector, mainly on our strategic sectors, such as creative industries, green economy, of course, digital economy, and 4.0 industry. Of course, one of our priority target inside of this strategy are the startups, because we know that our startups are the engine of innovation and creativity in Barcelona. They are a real magnet for international talent, and we are sure that they will able to find solutions also in this very difficult context. So we won't take care of them. And we have designed and implemented many measures focused on startups. For example, at the end of September, approximately 1 month ago, we celebrated in Barcelona the BIS Barcelona event. This is the annual event dedicated to entrepreneurship and startups, promoted by Barcelonativa and Fira of Barcelona, the Fair of Barcelona. It was a very important moment because it was the first physical event since the lockdown. And we registered more than 7,500 attendees and about 5,000 of virtual participants. It was really a success because it was the first time that Fira of Barcelona was opening again its doors. And in that way, we could demonstrate that the energy of Barcelona is still alive. By the other hand, we implemented a recovery plan for startups to help them to adapt their business plan and their business model to the new context. We expect that about 200 startups will participate in this program. And finally, we are currently working in order to inject money into the system using already existing venture capital funds or other financial instruments. So as you can see, in Barcelona, we are really very busy in order to help in this very delicate economic and social moment. We are conscious that just the City Council of Barcelona is not able to solve. So we are really also looking for a real public-private collaboration. This is the only way that we could lead the process to come out from the crisis. So we are really working very hard, and during next year, it will be very, very important to maintain this high level of commitment with the startup system, small and medium enterprises, unemployed people. So that's our, as you can imagine, it's our priority right now. We are trying to maintain all our international relationships and partnerships, like in the Kyoto case. So we made an effort really today to take part in this event, but at the same time we are really very glad because it is important that the cities that we have been collaborating before of the crisis, we will follow up with our commitment and create this international or global network that we are sure that it is very useful for our startups and entrepreneurs. So thank you very much again for inviting me. Now it's time for me to close my speech. For me, as you know, it's morning here in Barcelona, and I'm full of energy, and really I would like to talk to you more and more. But in Kyoto, it's quite evening. It's already evening, so I can imagine that you are very tired after a so intensive day. So I would like to close my speech with the same two words that I used to start it. These words are thank you and congratulations. But in this case, thanks and congratulations to the 16 startups that today have participated in this demo day. Thank you for have shared with us your project, and congratulations for having passed the KGAP Plus program. Thank you very much and good luck from Barcelona.
Thank you very much, Lorenzo-san.
Just Lorenzo, just say thank you very much for your speech. And we have revived from your speech, by your speech from Patrick. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Suzuki-san. It's a pleasure to meet you in a virtual way.
Yes. So you are now working in the office, right?
Yes, I'm in the office. Not all the workers are in the office. We are organizing turns to avoid the full concentration inside of the offices. But I'm in the office. We are really working by home and by co-workings. It's a new model for us. We are digitalizing our companies in a very fast way.
I think Japan must learn something from Barcelona for DX. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you to you. It's a pleasure.
Thank you very much, Laurent-san. Yeah, thank you. We are still in the very difficult times. We admire the challenges treatment Barcelona Activa and the city of Barcelona doing. Yeah. Let's keep going together and with startups. Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, that's all for session 2 and the whole program. Yeah, our startups are graduating the KGAP Plus program today. Congratulations, guys. But their journey goes on. Yeah, we keep supporting them and they are boosting collaboration between the startups and the Japanese companies or organizations. So please contact ATL anytime. Yeah. This event is co-hosted by the Barcelona Activa and also the Embassy of Embassy of Spain, and also the Israel Innovation Authority, Confederation of Indian Industry, Seekers Base Japan, EROA, Industrial Research Assistance Program of the National Research Council of Canada, Hong Kong Science and Technology Parks in Global Digital Module, and JETRO. Thank you so much for your cooperation and supporting us. Yeah. And also, Kyoto Smart City Expo support us. Of course, Embassy of India, Embassy of Canada, yeah, and Embassy of Israel in Japan. Yeah, all of them support always us. Thank you very much. Well, we are organizing another event on November 2nd, next week. Yeah, candidates for batch 4 from Israel will give a pitch. Don't miss it. Yeah, well, batch 3 is finishing. Thank you very much for joining us today. See you again soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye-bye.